Press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Tell me, about your journey. You are new, by the way, but still you have a journey, like from India's Next Top Model, and so many things you did. Now this film. So tell us about your journey first.
So for me, being here has been quite a journey. It's been a very step-by-step process for me. I started my career with Miss India, which happened when I was in college in my third year. And after Miss India, I had to get back to college, resume my studies. I was studying fashion design, fashion communication in fact, but fashion studies for people who are not like very well aware of different branches of fashion studies. So yeah, and then I was doing styling for my graduation project and internship, and I love fashion. I love everything to do with fashion, glamour, entertainment, camera, and that's how I started. And I used to participate in a lot of college festivals. That's how I kind of, it helped me groom my personality more and know, what's happening around and how things are, and just be like fashionable and nice and smart. And yeah, and then Miss India happened, which was a great exposure for me, a great platform, because after that a set of auditions started. And when you start your auditions, like you must have heard like in the news, okay, I'm giving like a detailed journey, okay, so yeah, they're like auditions, and you go to them, and it's very important to go to the right ones, to meet the right people on your journey. And because of Miss India, I got the right platform, I met the right kind of people, and I was on the right track, I guess. And then after my graduation, I felt like I really need to give full time into acting and modeling, because that's what I really wish to do, because I can always get back to fashion and always get back to fashion styling whenever I want to. And I didn't sit for my college placements. I graduated with great grades. I was also a college topper in my second year, and somewhere like in top 5 till my third year, till Miss India happened, after which, like, of course, I started modeling, so my grades were affected. But yeah, then the journey starts. In my very first week after graduation, I got selected for India's Next Top Model, and this was a very interesting story in itself. I had recently shifted to my house, and my flatmate asked me, hey, why don't you go for this pageant, for this competition, India's Next Top Model, and it's got this wild card entry, and send your pictures there. And whatever, I figured it out. I sent my pictures on the email ID mentioned on MTV, and I got into INTM. INTM was, again, I went with, so every time I start something new, I don't really think a lot, how I'm going to go about it. I don't plan things. I like being spontaneous, because I think when I'm spontaneous, I'm just very true, and it gets out the best of me. And when you plan things in terms of, in terms of anything, I feel like there's baggage, there are expectations, you have to reach that certain level. I'll probably start planning if I feel like I'm not good enough being spontaneous, but that's always an option. But yeah, so I just went there to the house, and I met a bunch of new people, like the 13 of these models, all from different cities. And I like being around people. It's never been like I want to stand out. It's because you end up standing out when you have a good personality, I guess. You will just stand out in your own way, But the idea has always been to belong to people, to make people like you, for people to love you. And that's something that this field has got to do with. When you're an actor or when you play a certain character, you want people to connect to the character, be it a villain or be it a hero. You want them to want to watch you more, want to basically just watch you more and know you more. And well, so INTM was that, and then I had multiple modeling challenges, and I was very focused. I think I've always been disciplined and focused, and it's very important to save your energy and put it into the right things. And I was only using my energy in the right things, I guess. Like, I stayed away from the house politics and these trivial fights and everything, and that helped me win the show. Yeah, and I I also got a lot of popularity and love from people around, especially like the masses, all of these teenagers and even their parents. Like a lot of the girls are like, "दी, आप INTM से हो ना, पता है मैं आपकी बहुत बड़ी fan हूँ, पता है मेरी मम्मी भी आपको बहुत प्यार करती है, please आप मम्मी को hi बोल दो." Even boys do that, so that's very overwhelming, that you're adored by people, and not just like those people, their parents also. You feel this sense of belongingness, which I guess I always thrive for, because I stay here alone in Mumbai. My father was in the army, so he was always traveling around, and yeah, so I am alone here. So it's always nice to get that warmth and love from people. You just go to a new place and it's not like you're a stranger, because people know you, they watched you somewhere. And most of the people knew me as India's Next Top Model Season 2 winner. So that's something very precious that the show gave me. And after Miss India and India's Next Top Model, I modeled extensively. I worked for Lakme Fashion Week, India Bridal Fashion Week, did campaigns for Manish Malhotra. That was another one I was very happy about, and I flaunt. And yeah, because I love his collection. And while modeling was happening, and then I did this show called India's Next Superstars, which is 2017 November-ish. And from I think November to February, we were only doing these acting workshops, staying in a house. Again, a similar setup, but a way more difficult setup than India's Next Top Model, because I think INTM was so much about challenges and about modeling competition, really, unless like you yourself started a fight and got into things. But in INS, India's Next Superstars was like a proper big boss sort of a setup, where like we were monitored extensively, like not extensively and intensively, and like in every way. Like we had these collar mics, and if you think कि हाँ रात में ना मैं mic तकिए के नीचे छुपा दूँगी and then I'm going to talk whatever, because unfortunately, so when like so many people stay together, it was somehow that I liked everybody in the house. I had no problems with the people in the house, but you want to sometimes just bitch about the organizers maybe, because you don't like them. So you can't even do that, because the mic is there and they're listening to everything. They would try to hide, but there were microphones next to the bed, so you're basically like monitored all the time. Then yeah, but that was the first time, I was among a set of actors who some of them had a lot of experience, and I learned so much. And for me, I feel like naturally I have this inclination towards acting, and I feel like I'm natural in my ways, in my conduct. So acting kind of happens. I just imagine things and I put myself there. I believe I'm that person and I just do it. So that's a little bit of acting, but I've never learned acting as such, or never like trained in the craft. So that was my first exposure to acting and actors and scripts and things like that. Though I had done TV ads before, but again, TV ads are more about selling the product, where you just like laugh and you're like da da da. It's about your energy, how well the owners feel like, or the the company feels like you can sell the product. But acting is a very different thing altogether. So there, I actually learned so much about acting. The workshops there, and we were performing in front of Rohit Shetty and Karan Johar so every week, and that was such a great opportunity. And we would get different scripts, get to play different characters. So after INS, I realized that there are a lot of things that I could actually learn, and I had the knack for it. I could learn it really well, and I could actually get so much better at acting. That's when I joined an acting course. So I joined Jeff Goldberg. I studied method acting, the 3 months course there. And a lot of things that I felt like I already knew about, were just explained in better ways, so I could implement it better. And I'm still like carrying that diary of mine. So I have this diary, acting diary, come like my personal diary, where I have everything written. And then while I was doing my classes, so I would like go audition, do the class, go audition, get back home by like 9, 10. So this was like this long phase of life where I was, not long phase, like a few months. Yeah, and of course before that also I was auditioning for TV ads, and everything was happening like that. I was learning a lot, trying to give my best, learn every day, be better than before. And then this project happened, and I landed up with Family of Thakurganj. That's my story so far.